Which is it?
I am in ODM and nobody can kick me out of ODM. I have no intention of leaving ODM. I've said this publicly 1,000 times. You don't have to be an official of the party to be a member of the party. If we get to a point where, and in fact, you've heard us publicly calling for a national delegates convention at which, because this constitution is, the reason why I bring these documents here is so that we can explain to your viewers what the true position of the party is.
Constituted organs, having deliberated on matters relating to the conduct of the Secretary General, Senator Edwin Sifuna, the NEC resolved to remove him from office with immediate effect in accordance with the party constitution and applicable laws. Effectively, the Deputy Secretary General, Honorable me, yours truly, Catherine Omanyo, will act in this position until a substantive holder of the position is elected. The NEC reaffirmed ODM's commitment to democratic governance, constitutionalism, social justice, and the pursuit for a broad-based, inclusive, and reform-oriented government that reflects the will and aspirations of the Kenyan people. Issued at Mombasa this 11th day of February 2026.
Thank you.
Mene. Take care. Finally, ODM has kicked out its Secretary General Edwin Sifuna. This is despite a spirited fight to remain in the party. And if you can remember, in the first video, he was saying that he's not going to leave ODM. But today, the ODM NEC has decided to kick out its SG and replace it with Omon. That is a women rep for... I think I must have missed the name. By the way, Sifuna is out. I don't know what this portends for ODM. I remember over the week, they were having rallies in Western Kenya to rally support for the ODM. And they say that they're the ones who own the real ODM. And he was not going to leave ADM. Whatever happens. All right. I don't know what that means for us, but one day, welcome to this second episode of The Tackle on, this is 11th February 2026. And this is our second episode. We shot our first episode of 2026 last week on Wednesday. And we are happy to be back again. Please, as usual, when you come in, please like. When you like, we get to know that you're watching us. And that you like, please share. When you share, you give someone else an opportunity to watch the broadcast. This is The Tackle, and it begins right now. We have Dr. Ojwang and wakili Mokaya. Good evening, Ojwang.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Very well.
It's a nice Wednesday, and I'm glad to be here.
Good evening. It's bright and dull at the same time, and I'm happy to be here.
All right, it's bright and dull.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. So you guys have seen what's happened today. Of course, a lot of political happenings have been going on this week, but today seems to have been the tip of it, as ODM kicks out its Secretary General. Last week, Ojwang, you told us that the world is bigger than exists in Sifuna's mind. I don't know if you still stand by that statement.
I do, and I think because I could see how they push Wakili Sifuna to be an influencer, to be an activist, to change his posture, to comment on everything, which is inconsistent with the high role of an SG. You know, there is a way that Kenyans like kind of pushing people. And so he took the bait. He was all over being an activist, being all that. And I listened to the interview very keenly because Sifuna is one of the young people that their star was shining very well. I think it is still shining. Somebody told me, actually Suba Churchill told me there is a concept they learn in political science called wishful thinking. That wishful thinking is defined as the practice or believing that a desired outcome will occur simply because you want it to. Simply because you want it to, despite lack of evidence or high probability of it being that it will fail. So I could see Sifuna being back onto the ring. But the challenge is that looks like the ODM members had made their decision on 2027. Because that really became, there could be an underlying personality issue here and there, a little bit of bad manners here and there. But I'm not here to discuss bad manners, how many times somebody chew their food without saying grace or all that. Bottom line, it appears that the last straw, the last straw that broke the camel's back is on the issue of which is the direction for ODM. Looks like ODM members want to vote for the government and are tired of being tired in terms of putting their lot with the opposition politics. But Sifuna was just warming up to street battles. He has his sneakers ready, warming up to powerful sound bites, and he has charisma. But you see, if you talk to ODM members, they have seen the limitation of charisma. Babu na Mwamba, or Babu Bila Mwamba, was very charismatic. And so they have seen that charisma alone is not enough, and it cannot be substitute to this. And of late, somebody will say either Sifuna was so sure about his next step, or he just appeared extremely naive. Because anyone will look at it and say, surely, how do you expect to survive when the party looks to be rowing this way and you are in a different boat and you are bold about it and you are actually beckoning for war? And there were a lot of signals that Sifuna, you might need to take a detour. Maybe you need to reconsider. Maybe, yes, there is freedom, but there is party discipline because, party are institutions and they have organs. But all this seemed to steer him to be talking more, and there were a lot of tweets and a lot of sound bites, and there was a lot of people pushing him in social media until finally the party found his tenure inconsistent with their big picture. And so today there is separation. They separated from Sifuna, or Sifuna separated from him. But to his credit, he still remains a vibrant ODM member. We say in law, today's dissent or minority is tomorrow majority. So maybe in next life, or if he persuades people otherwise, they might end up being taking his position. But for now, it appears they found him inconsistent with their overall direction.
But then again, like you mentioned, he's not also a politician that you would actually ignore. He's very charismatic and he's also a very good mobilizer. So the question is, what does this portend for ODM as well? Is ODM digging its own grave in some way?
Politics is not just about policy brief. It's about timing, history, and context. And those three things is what he read wrong.
Okay.
The timing after a sudden death and election beckoning within a year, and having Raila, former Prime Minister Raila, having secured ODM securely to work with the government, then the history is very important. I come from a region where most people are in ODM really, but the history in the sense that they are finding that you need more than just charisma, and you need more than eloquence. Because issues of development, we have celebrated, clapped, and followed charisma for too long. And so people are taking a different view and the context. So these three things became so important that if we could have looked at the history where we are, the traditional alliances, even the issue of young Turks. Remember, there is a time even when the young Turks made of Agostino Neto, George Oner, Mele, were trying to even break away from Raila, but they got scared and most of them came back. But for some of them, like Agustino Neto, became like dinosaur in terms of their politics. But he can come back, but for now he got out. So Sifuna timing was wrong. And in politics, I think timing is very important. And to be honest, he put a good fight. Come on. My boy put a good fight. Here you are fighting none other than the political masterpiece, William Ruto. You are fighting Oburu, who went to Senate when you were probably in high school. And you are fighting such a machine. And you are fighting everyone. And who do you have in your corner? A few people here and there who sometime after being sorted leave you alone. So it was a one-man army, but the war was over before it began. Yes.
All right, Wakili, yes. What are your thoughts?
You know, Michael Jordan told the late Kobe Bryant that there is no I in team. Then Kobe Bryant told Michael, but I am in it. The lesson there was that there is no player bigger than his club. However good you are, you will realize that you need the 11 others for you to play. And if you're not fielded by any club, then nobody will realize how good you are. As in legally speaking, family law handles family when everybody is alive. But somehow it doesn't skip over to succession. So the favorite child when the father was alive might not be the favorite child during succession. Because after succession, the realm of family law stops. So Sifuna might have been the favorite child of Raila, but he might not be the favorite child of ODM post-Raila. That's what I mean by family law does not transist into succession. Sifuna made the mistake that men don't make. Men are particularly very realistic when it comes to their measure of self-importance. Men are actually social cowards. They don't try things they are not sure of succeeding, especially in both politics, which mirrors in the dating market. Because if David takes on Goliath and misses, his life ends.
He's gone.
If an aide tries his shot at the master's wife and misses, if he's forgiven, he loses his job. He can even die. But on the women's side, really, they are allowed to be ambitious about their sense of self-importance. If the house help tries her shot on the boss, she either makes it or not, she'll still somehow keep her job. So when Sifuna tried what he tried, he knew what he was daring. But I think he overestimated his sense of self-importance. And he didn't know that the realm of family law had converted into succession law in ODM. He tried his shot at Goliath and missed. And once you overestimate yourself and miss, then you are reduced to size. But it's not done for him because I believe we don't have to be leaders. He's still a bona fide member of ODM, as Dr. Ojwang said off camera, and he can attend all functions of ODM, save for NEC and other leadership functions. He can as well attend all functions, but on the audience side, like every other bona fide member. We won't be celebrating his mishap, but we'll be learning from him because he doesn't have to be a good example. You are an example still, but a bad one for making that mistake. I dare say that wisdom dictates that rebellion, populations cheer rebels, but they don't sustain rebellion. The most successful rebel is unique because he was the son of a deputy president or the first vice president. His name is Raila Odinga. Anyone who tried half of what Raila tried was either decimated figuratively or died. Why? Because he had fallback plans. He is a dynasty for all you say. Raila was shielded from economic realities because he was the son of a first vice president. And he was also shielded from political realities because most of the people he rattled were his father's friends or his father's proteges. So he could do things that nobody could he missed bullets both figuratively and literally because he was covered by more than himself. If we try being Raila now, you need to measure yourself and ask, whose son am I? The likes, tweets, sound bites, and clips that I create, can they sustain my life outside the frenzy?
Not save you when you need it.
Yes. So Sifuna might have done a good thing or a wrong thing, but his biggest mistake is that he allowed himself to be the reagent in the test tube in his own experiment.
Bitok. They say everyone has a plan until you are punched on the mouth or on the nose. And that is Mike Tyson. and that happened, when he got punched on the nose, he beat that guy. He forgot all the rules of boxing. And that is a reality that has befallen our friend. That he had very brilliant plans. And he had moves and checks, and he had the queen, and the checkboard was looking very fine. Until finally, he has been punched on the mouth. So when you have been punched on the mouth, you just take your time. You check whether you are bleeding, whether your dental formula have been interrupted. And this figuratively, for Mike Tyson, and even for our friend, is that everyone has a plan until something like this happen. The idea that you have a preparation, you had a plan, you are
ready for the
working
fight.
well. Yes. You live in the real world pressure situation, but the unforeseen events happen. It quickly renders those plans absolute moot, kaboot, and
all the boots.
and terminate them. So the punching, and that is how history is so unfair. It's so sad, but we must talk about history. That you will be shining on one side is like the the tale of two cities. Then immediately your phone call stops coming. All the applause goes down. If you want, you start hearing words like you are the people's SG.
You're gone.
Please don't fall for those things. Be the real SG. That he's the people's SG. So once I heard those very flattery words like you are the people's choice. You might not the choice of the party, but you know that you are a coup. If you are to lead a rebellion, and sometimes you must, make sure you succeed. Because if you don't succeed, then the sword. There is something we call victor's justice. You see, when Saddam Hussein fought with the Bush, if Saddam would have beaten the US, Bush would have been tried for war crime, and he would have been found culpable and
so you have better off there.
But because Saddam lost, Saddam was tried and was executed. So you don't do rebellion halfway. Of course, what he was trying to do in fancy word is just rebellion, a little mischief here and there. But today, then, the history will record boldly that he got punched,
in the mouth.
not below the bell, but above it, but in the wrong place, the mouth.
Bitok, what Prof is saying is interesting because there is a dare in my neck of the woods. When you are dared, you say when you're daring somebody, you tell them, that loosely translates to mean, if you are a man, touch me. So the threat there is that make sure you are a man more than the man you are daring. Because if he touches you and you have nothing to do, then you'll experience how much of a man this is. There's a tale in ancient Russia that if you are condemned to death by hanging and the rope or something happened and you escaped, you were pardoned. But there's this rebel who was lucky that the rope was loose and he didn't die from the hanging. But he was told, do you have anything to say? He said, Russia, we are so pathetic that we can't even make ropes. So when the emperor was signing his pardon papers, he said, but if I may ask, what did the prisoner say? The centurion or the soldier said, he said that we are so pathetic, we can't make it even a rope. Then the emperor said, this time, we'll show him that we can make good ropes. This time the rope didn't break.
And rope they did make. Okay. All right. See, Kericho Governor, His Excellency Eric Butai is watching us. Asante sana, Governor. Caleb KE, update. Council of Governors list senators. Yeah, okay. Hii ni kipindi kingine tutaiendea. As from Caleb saying, update. Council of Governors list senators Moses Ojwang, Edwin Sifuna, Samson Cherargei, and Jones Mwaruma as notorious extortionists during SAIPAC hearings. List sent to Speaker Kingi. Emmanuel Kipsang, tell us more about this. Okay, tutakuja hapo. Biara Brongoe, Sifuna will also be asked as deputy minority whip in the Senate. His goose is already cooked. Okay. Matik don't take good. Embagasi village tuned in to the show. Asante sana. Please, when you join in, let us know where you're watching us from. This is the tackle. All right, so there has been another angle. Oh, I've seen Clarissa. Kiteki Njerus, Clarissa, it is Sifuna was punched where? Punched in the mouth. That's what Dr. Ojwang has said. So, guys, gentlemen, there's another angle that as well has been discussed on the political front. And I think it's important that we also look at it even as we analyze these ODM developments. Let's have the video up.
Na nimesikia Sifuna anaongea na nguvu. Wakati unaongea mambo yangu Sifuna, ujue mimi ndio mwanzilishi wa ODM. So unaenda polepole kidogo. Yes. Sisi ndio tulianza hii kitu. Ama namna gani? Na unajua ukinisukuma sana nitaitisha mkutano ya founder members ya ODM. Sindio? Unajua tukiitisha hiyo mkutano tunaweza kufanyia discipline sisi ambao tulianza chama. Sindio? So twendeni Moses.
All right. I think you've added that. This is President William Ruto speaking from in Western Kenya, where Sifuna was present as well. And Sifuna was seen to have had a very spirited speech, especially in front of the president. And he was suggesting that the president was taking over ODM. And he was making a stand that he was not going to bulge. He was not going to bend over politically for the takeover. So, guys, when you talk about discipline, would it be a case that this is a discipline that has befallen Sifuna? I'll start with you, Wakile.
So, party discipline is a fundamental principle in politics and leadership. But I'll want to take a different tangent in that. If you choose to contradict your father, make sure you have your own house. The wisdom behind that is whether your father is wrong or not, the principle remains that is the landlord as soon as you enter into his house. And everything that belongs to that house, including you, belong to him. Culture dictated that once you have gone through the rite of passage from childhood to adulthood, it was strongly recommended that you build your own Simba. In Kisii we say Esaiga. That meant if you whistle from the gates, you don't whistle to your father's house. You whistle to your own house. Otherwise, you stop whistling. So, Sifuna shot so high, shot beyond his weight. I won't be part of the opinions or mouthpieces that will say that President has his own party called UDA. Maybe there could be something about his Sifuna's firing that has something to do with UDA, but it's ODM neck that withdrew the services of Sifuna. And this is for good order and good manners. You can't have an SG who has his personal opinions when he's still SG. Because when SG speaks, he speaks from the office. Whether he's speaking from his bedroom or not, any political statements he makes will easily be confused as the party position. And for good order, so that the party does not speak in many languages, when the youth leader is speaking and the SG contradicts him, then there is a lot of chaos or even political unhygiene. I don't know whether that is correct English. Prof will guide me. When a party speaks from both sides of the mouth. Also, I think maybe ODM is cleaning up for future Prof hates the word marriage in politics. for future ukuruba, I don't know, for future matchmaking. So it can't have an erratic SG when it's trying to suit some people. So freedom of speech in high school, when the teacher is telling you, please be honest, or even in church when we say truth shall set you free. All promises in the spiritual realm might be realized in this life or the next life. So you want to be careful not to take every promises for them, because some truths will make you free after you have served your jail term.
So you are free but still not so free.
Yes.
Daktari, could this be the punishment that has befallen Sifuna? And then again, what does that mean for party democracy?
You know, Sifuna was sleeping on a borrowed mattress. And when you sleep on a borrowed mattress, you are in a very bad place, because the owner of the mattress
Cannot be any time.
Yeah, I know people who have affluenza, who are used to plenty, cannot understand that. But I come from a place where once in a while you find yourself sleeping on a borrowed mattress. And when you're sleeping on a borrowed mattress, you must understand that this mattress is not mine, and the owner can come for it anytime. And you don't act in manner inconsistent with the owner of the mattress demand. Once in a while, the owner of the mattress will even say, for no good measure, wash the mattress once a week, air it, iron it, whatever it is. But it's their mattress. And that is what Sifuna forgot, that SG that he sat on was simply a borrowed mattress. Number two, the way you lose something, even what you have, is to focus on what you don't have. Sifuna had SG, but he's almost focusing on party leader position. You are
It was above this
them, yes, punching a little bit above the weight. So you get so focused in what you don't have that you miss what you already have and forget what you already have, which is very good deal that you have. You have the SG. When I saw ODM do memorial or commemoration of the founders, and each of them gave a hearty. I still remember Henry Kosgei and the president. And everyone gave an account, blow by blow, on how they formed Orange Movement. How Malala started it in Kisumu, and the president then, just a member, told him, why don't you bring it up, and how it became a party. He should have paid attention to that history, because I think that was his own eulogy. But he missed it, because that explanation is coming after the president have told him, I'm a founder member, and if you continue like this, you might find you might be separated from the party. And then immediately the founders' party happened. Instead of paying attention, what did he do? He read a speech by President Uhuru Kenyatta, who, if you revisit any history of ODM, was not a founder member, and blandly stood with his phone, meaning the message just hit his box and they are in serious communication, maybe live, that, by the way, I have another communication from another party founder. So Sifuna has even power to change the history, because everyone knows that when after the referendum, the president was not part of the ODM. He read the speech, almost became the rain on that parade, and I think that became almost the last straw. That broke the camel's back. And so, yes, it's a lot of factors. It's a lot of factors. But I think basically is, the Bible is saying, how can two walk together if they don't agree? And if he outrightly kept saying, I cannot work with UDA, I cannot vote for William, I will not take that direction. Then what was left for the party to do? And I think that's a fair question. What else could the party have done? You have gone to national TV. The party have made a decision. Your colleagues in the NEC have made a decision that this is the direction they are going. You are going, they are going towards Mombasa, you are going towards Murang'a. Or Wamunyoro, or Madeira, wherever you are going, you know where you are going. And so, how can these two different directions work together, except to honorably terminate? And so Sifuna has also fallen into the victim mood, where we are saying in Africa, people don't resign. Because if he will have resigned, he will have probably got the first bite of the cherry. And he will have left as a hero saying, my position is no longer tenable out of principle. Find some good words there. but and that's what Mandela said. A good dancer must know when to leave the floor and when to quit while you are ahead. Him waiting until those people do the first blow is actually putting him on the net side. That you have been hit. I don't know about you, but I lived in a very rough neighborhood where if you have been hit, people might sympathize with you as you nurse your pain, but tomorrow they laugh at you. Don't think those people who are saying it's a shame what they have done to you, my friend. Tomorrow when you mess up with them, they'll say, no wonder you were beaten yesterday. So history is not very good at people who have been hit like this.
And you had actually given a leakage last week that when you hit a dog, you say the first quick is the loudest. And then slowly, as it retreats, it screams lesser. So maybe he didn't get the hint, because I think then if that was the case last week, maybe you'd have.
You should have subscribed for this show, or it's free.
Yeah,
it should be free.
You're not charging. Actually, it's free. Free to air, free to watch.
It's not free to us, man.
It's free to watch. So I think he didn't get the memo. But anyway, a bit too late. So another question that's coming up, development that's happening actually, is the governors have said, and at least we now have a governor who is watching us. Maybe he'll tell us exactly what's going on there. But the governors have said we are not appearing before Senate committees. Amesema hatuendi tawe. You're not going to Senate committees to answer the questions. Why? They have accused 4 senators of extortion. And they have said hatuendi. I don't know what this means then. Mokaya.
It's very, very difficult to be a governor in this country, because you are facing very many adversaries. Immediately you are sworn in, your deputy realizes they are a step away from being governor. So they can either look at you, they start imagining of you stopping breathing. They imagine of how many MCAs they need to crucify you. Then MCAs also are waiting for every Friday. You tell them how they go to funerals. If you don't, they know where to take you. Then now we are realizing actually we were focusing on the wrong people. There is a committee of extortionists in Senate, and I'm told this I'm saying without prejudice and no mentioning names, that a senator not far from where I'm hailing is the chairman of that committee. Then it begs a question: are we a pretentious state? Do we get the leaders we deserve, or is there something that comes to mind when some of us get to power? Most senators want to be governor. I then doubt whether they are patient enough to wait for their turn, or their success is dependent on the current governors failing. If our safeguards in the Constitution and the legal frameworks we have put, we are not short of laws. I think Kenya has the most elaborate pieces of paper in good English that are supposed to guide our behavior and save us from our misbehavior. But even when we create those laws, then you learn that we have empowered some people to weaponize those laws to do exactly what they should protect us from. Then we wonder, what will it take for this Kenya to run properly? That the safeguards that we have for the misbehavior of governors is the same weapon we have created for the Senate to ensure they create a panya route for these governors to get away with whatever they do if they play ball. It puts the mwananchi at a very precarious situation, because do we need another constitutional reform, or do we need another liner in our law to say that senators are not allowed to take anything from governors? The other day, President said that there are votes for sale in Parliament. Now it is governors for sale in Senate. There is nothing good to say about it. I wish we could have other things to say, but I want to commend a certain committee in the Senate where their proceedings are live, and at least you realize they are logical in their questions. You only wonder what happens once the cameras go off. That governors have chosen to boycott the sittings, it looks like a defense mechanism to their mishaps, but it also begs the question, in whose hands are Kenyans safe? When cabinet sits and allocates money for relief to counties that have had allocations in the upwards of 15 billion every year for close to 15 years now, and that our predicaments are not accidents, neither are they unique, they are cyclic. We know December will have short rains. We know that in January we'll have some form of drought. So how much of a problem are we to ourselves that we are raising skyscrapers in Isli and complaining of the same cyclic problems we have had since we were born? And then we question ourselves that really our problem, do we have a syndrome that all of us, there's a comment that came to one of the platforms that I appear in, that some people alisema, sisikii poa that hii corruption iko about kuisha before nikulie.
Kabla inifikie. Yeah. All right, Ojwang, what do you make of this? And then again, what does it mean for accountability? Because the whole process of government Senate committees has been to oversight counties and oversight governors and ensure that there is accountability for public resources and there's good use of it. And if there's a case where there is a misuse or corruption cases, then this committee has been recommending action. And another question begs, this is not the first time we're having, Senate is not new. We've been having Senate since 2013 elections. These committees, could we probably make a list of cases that are prosecuted out of these activities that they do in counties, oversight?
But by the committees, of course, the committees work on behalf of the whole house, right? And so implication or, when you look at the advertisers, they will advertise, let's say, diet pills. The greatest testimony is to show someone who was obese, and after using your pill, they are now lean, legal machines. But if you went to advertise and you start by someone who is overweight, and then 6 months after using your pills, they are still overweight, obviously you will not attract customers. Okay. And I think that is what you are saying, that there is the feeling that we do not see governors coming in and action following. We do not see that. And instead, we see a little bit of drama and then show off. But there's enough blame to go around, because the senators, so for governors to say now we are not going to come because we are being asked to pay, to play. I don't know, but I usually have a lot of faith, but I cannot believe that statement. Okay. Because of what I think of governors. It doesn't sound believable. Because
what do you think of governors?
Because governors are very able to these are top executives. These are the leaders. You know, we have 48 governments. These are the head of other governments. This is not somebody who you can simply extort because they have all the mechanisms to redress such an action. They are not people who are saying, you know, we go there, if we don't give money, we are yelled at. This is not a marriage therapy or counseling session. Taxpayers' money have been stolen. So here, I like a little bit of Sifuna drama. if all you can bring is drama, bring it. Because after all, the committee have not done anything tangible. But at least it's not going without your drama. So let it go, but without your fight. So Evie, I hope he was a little more not selective and only do those who appear to be associated with the Kenya Kwanza government, like Cecily, and those who are probably from ODM zone. So he has been a little selective. He doesn't have consistent anger. He has selective anger. But I mean, I saw the names, and they claim that they are disturbing us because the issue of corruption does not stop you from appearing before a Senate which has mandate to hold you accountable. What kind of excuse is that?
Now, Ojwang, if the people that okay, let's look at this committee for instance. It exists to be the counter check, okay, on counties and on devolution, and ensure that public resources are used prudently. Now you have the same committee that's supposed to counter check on corruption and spending of public resources, being accused of siphoning or aiding the same thing they're supposed to prevent.
There's no honor among thieves.
Okay.
If we have stolen together Bitok, yes. I cannot come and say, you know,
so the committee is saying
let us stay together. Okay. But let us now, when it comes to sharing, let us be people of integrity. Let us be people of honor and people of our words. We had said we steal this thing and we share it this way. Why are we not sharing it? So I cannot weep there. I don't have enough faith to weep when there is no honor among what? Thieves. So if you come to my table and I know you are a thief, and then I want a little more also. Two wrongs don't make a right. But I mean, you know, it's unfair. And governors take Kenyans for a joke because these are people who can bring a serious case rather than hide under the collective COG to say we will not come. Each individual bribee and bribeward or the one who have been extorted should have reported to the police. Do we have a police report? Rather than running and having collegiality and solidarity in eating, this is not a unionizable. Each county is independent. The COG, and so the approach, what I'm saying is this, that one, it is very hard to feel sorry for governors. I'm sorry. I'm usually a very sympathetic person, but
not tonight.
It is very hard for me to shed a tear that a governor has been pinched because of demeanor of Sifuna. That is because it's not about personality driven.
Okay.
Then number two, I also wish that they escalated this than their action. You see, now it's when you are bringing the complaint, but you have already come with a very convenient solution. What is the solution? We are not going to be accountable. That's what they're saying, isn't it? We are not going to appear and be asked questions. No. Then why don't you separate? Why throw the baby with the bath water? Why don't you separate and say, while
we want new members,
we will be accountable, while we will continue, but we are whistleblower, so and so ask for this money, and we have reported this, and we are going to come, and we are going to, you know, that money is not governor's money, it's taxpayers' money.
Correct, yeah.
The committee that sit, the water they drink, is funded by who? Taxpayers, so that they ask the difficult questions. But you cannot have a very self-serving solution that because as I was coming, I've been asked for money. In my own assessment, I've considered that there is no value for this committee, and therefore I'm not going to subject myself. Then are you going to resign as a governor? It is like this guy. I think there's one time a UN student refused to do some exam. That this exam, Mwalimu, we think we are going to fail. And therefore, so who is the examiner? You cannot be an examiner and the candidate at the same time. So that the student conspired. And this happened a number of times, especially during Babu time. You were there when Babu was there.
Yes.
When they have not prepared well for the exam, they decide together that nobody should take the exam. We are going to negotiate. You can see that is just defeating the whole system. Okay. So we have a few rotten apple, according to them. So what is the solution for them? We are not going to show up for accountability.
Mokaya, my issue is, my concern is actually, of course, Ojwang has mentioned that this is just, these are for lack of a better word, and I don't want to be quoted for that. This is a coalition of thieves. Of thieves. Like they're saying that there's no honor among thieves. But then again, these two people exist, or these two units exist in the interest of the people. One exists to develop and to work and to use public resources to the benefit of the people. And the committee and the Senate itself in its entirety exists to countercheck this. Okay? To be the buffer between the people and this administration. So now we're having these two people who seem to either conflict or agree on a matter that predisposes the people to arm. So, who is going to be the people then? Does it mean that the people need to form their own committees now at this point?
You know, we are, our biggest problem as a country is education. We have too many educated people that we have ingenious ways of running away from things. What we forget here is sittings of committees are not rumor-mongering forums. There are places where you go table what you say and support them with the documents. And when a governor is being summoned, he is not being ambushed. I believe there is notice to prepare yourself. And most of the summons to governors happen after Auditor General has raised queries. And those queries are queries that you come to support with documents. When an audit query is raised, it's not that you are a thief. It's questioning that there is something that is not clear. That there is 10 million here that was spent on your child's birthday. We want to locate this child in the county functions. There is 100 million here that went into housewarming for the first lady. Okay, the second lady of the county. We need to locate this in the function of the governor. If you come and say that that was a mistake, that this money actually went into something, then you match that expense to a function. There is no problem. I want to believe that the anatomy of a bribe does not start with the extortionist. The anatomy of a bribe starts with the feeling of guilt that calls you to go and propose.
Class in session. Watch, take notes. Class in session.
You see, if
take your time working. Where does it start?
The bribe is a proposal from the bribo
offer
to the bribee.
To offer.
Yes. You don't come and say, you see when you are
my record are good.
Yeah, so since my record are good, ningependa kuacha chai. When you're taking a wrong turn and polisi anakuambia hujanikosea umekosea sheria, wewe ndio unasema mkubwa tunafanya aje? Tunaweza tutoke kwa watu kidogo tuongee. Then you propose 1,000, then they say take 500, then you agree at 50 shillings. So there is a proposal. You see, the good thing about human beings is our insatiable nature. The high you received yesterday by one line does not come today with one line. You need 2 lines. So then, if you offer 5 million, the bribee will think, by the way, kama ameamua kuachilia 5, hii jamaa amekula ngapi? Then appetite comes. Then he says, ebu tuseme alete 10. Then you realize with time, these people get greedy and greedy. Then at some level you realize, sasa nikipea hawa, nikitoka kwa hii kiti EACC itakuja kushika nani? Si mimi bado. And then we are evening out. Then you realize, you say, ai bwana, mutanisamee kidogo. Watu wanakula wanakula sana. But you realize the initial thing was that you are not clean. I'll want to know who has successfully extorted the Makueni governor.
Okay. Are you suggesting he's a Maisa?
No, I'm saying there is very little to extort from him, because he'll come and tell you, okay, let's see, do your worst. I'm a proud footballer, and when your team says that the referee is unfair, what you tell your team is, let's score our goals, score many of them, and score them early, so that in case these referees decide to award penalties, he'll have to award like 5-10 penalties for us to get out of this match with a draw. The solution here, as Daktari says, is one in the admission of guilt that is a requirement of every bribe. Number 2, score your goals early. Have your accounts proper. Don't have your accounts proper.
Then
take your hand. Then if somebody extorts you, you will tell them, hey, Bwana Senator, see, you just do your worst. We are ready.
Okay. You're ready for Tuesday.
You heard of the preacher who kept saying, a member of a church who kept praying, Lord, please kill the cobwebs in my life. Until one time, one preacher told him, Lord, just kill the spider. Because we cannot be meeting every day about one prayer. We know where these things are going. Remove the cobwebs in my life. So this is a cobweb moment. The spider is the one that gives birth to cobwebs. So corruption breeds corruption.
Yeah. So what do we kill then?
Corruption.
So you're suggesting the governor
is the spider.
So the governor should kill the spider. Should kill corruption.
Corruption is the spider.
Okay.
And therefore, Senate is killing the cobweb.
Okay. And leaving the spider. Spider-Men are on the wall. Should we say that
now also Senate is getting entangled in the web?
Should we say that?
Of course they are.
So if we kill the spider, everyone is safe.
They are. If we kill the spider, this principle of innocent until proven guilty is a legal fiction. In reality, otherwise, if there is a crime, we will just be arresting everyone and checking whether they are innocent, or by the time you are arrested, there is probable reason. You are there at the crime zone. We have seen. We are not sure you are guilty, but there is something that put you at the
points you there.
No, so, but when it comes to the issue of public fund, the standard is much higher. This is not about your liberty. This is about you and your public trust. And that public trust, forget the ego. So what if you went there and somebody spoke not so well to you, or didn't greet you, or you explained and they didn't buy your explanation? I think on this one, I really stand with. I mean, if for drama value, if the money is not going to come back, but let it go as we are kicking and screaming, saying, where umechukua pesa.
Right, asante sana. Lotiri Henry, Moi University, my uni lecturer, Dr. Ojwang, a very humble and intelligent man. Asante sana. Isaac Chumba, watching from Eldama Ravine. Chepto Nancy, watching from Kapseret. Barno team, welcome back. Missed the show, watching from Elgeyo Marakwet. Asante sana Barno team. DK Cheboy, Jim mwenyewe, you have missed this, man. Welcome back. Eugene Karagori, Kibra watching Bombolulu. Asante sana to Kibra. Thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate. D Ozuri, are you back to hosting this show? I stopped following when you left. Give me a sign. The sign is here, D Ozuri, and we are back, bigger, bolder, and better. I actually want to challenge, since we are here, and we seem to be having two sides. We're having the governors on what side? You said you are a good fan of football. Now it looks like we're heading the derby now. We have the senators on one side, and we have the governors on one side. And I think we have governors and senators watching us tonight. That is for sure. And we want to give you a challenge, because they are the only ones who can tell this story. We can spectate. We can spectate, but we cannot tell exactly what happened. Because as I see tunasikia, we are hearing a third party. Tunaambiwa huyu anasema huyu alifanya hivi. Ni kama wakati mnapigana na ndugu yako, alafu ndugu yako anakimbia haraka kwa madhi. Anasema Ojwang amenilima. Na yeye ndiye alikulima. So we don't want to have reported speech. So this is a challenge. Since we have senators and governors who are watching us tonight, we're giving you a challenge for next week.
Yes.
Okay? Nataka governor mmoja,
A duel.
senator mmoja.
Wajilete.
For a duel.
Yes, and we are going to set up a ring. We are setting up a ring next week. We need to, and don't worry, Ojwang is huge. He'll protect each one of them.
And fair
so
game,
utaka katikati. We'll have senator on one side, governor on one side. Then we sit in the middle. We'll be able to wananchi. Kwa sababu sisi sasa ndio tuanza senators na governors wa wananchi. We sit in the middle and we hear the story. By the end of that conversation, the people shall decide who is the culprit. Tumalize kesi mapema tuwe spider so
but we are not going to be carrying water for people. They light fire and we are carrying water sprinkling. Hapana.
Tumesema sasa kila mtu akuja afanye nini?
Let's deal with the spider once and for all.
Ama namna gani? Si hivyo? Kwa sababu hata kusema kwamba tumeonea mtu fulani. Tumesema senators ni wabaya ama tunasema governors ni wabaya. Because even as we sit here, wewe unasimama na senators. Mokaya anasimama na governors.
Mimi nasimama na nini wa Kenya?
Mimi nasimama na spider na raia.
Maybe I need to clarify because you have offered me a chance.
Yes.
I don't think what I'm saying is that if what is annoying governor is simply the posture and the tone of a few senators, then I feel that is not enough reason. That we should be able to understand. The law does not regulate tone and tonal variation and all that. So that should not be the worry. But there is a germane issue that we should not gloss over. That there is an issue of extortion. That there is an issue of corruption allegation. And yes, governors should go there, not because they are going to be lynched, but as a way where they are respected. Because noise does not bring evidence, by the way.
Correct.
And lay people prefer lawyers who bang the table and very dramatic, but until they go to jail. Because the judge is also trained in law, and therefore the drama is for public view and not for evidence. So we are not saying that drama is important part of the process.
Okay.
But if all we get out of it is drama, so be it. But what we are saying is that in the process of this public inquiry, a very important process is happening. Let us not go personal. Let us not be about personality. People are a little disappointed. I've seen the comment where they are finding that we have not seen. Of course, Senate does not jail, but we have not seen them doing a little more than
the drama.
But drama comes if you want to exonerate someone, you kick drama for the public.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you look at the report, and it is a shadow of the drama you saw. So it's a house of record. Let's look at the record. But you might find that those drama and the record do not reflect the drama you see. And those are the sign of somebody who has Mocha or Java and has got some money in a total. Like in the judiciary, it's usually total or a shell. Those two, it won't be all our
the shopping area.
Vipa.
All right.
Mwalimu wa sheria here is being very careful with his words, but I think he's alluding to this. Careers have been built out of drama, and a colleague or a student of his has really built a good legal career out of drama and banging tables in court. He walks around with cameras and a full media team. But I think this we
I hope he didn't learn that from Ojwang, because I've not seen him. I've been him for many years. He has not banged the table, and that's for very different reasons.
So I think this I'm saying as sarcastic as I have to do, and I think we are sensitive, a population that we have to explain jokes, and I've done that. Corruption as a business must be profitable, and that I think is what governors are saying. That once they steal and then you come for the whole loot, it's not fair to them. Okay. So, and senators should moderate their appetite when they come in for their bribes. Governors cannot peel for $1 billion and then they come for 900,000. And when the governors know that EACC is coming for their share of the bribe. So we need to be fair. So if governor ametoka na bilioni moja, I'm asking the 4 senators, Regulate your appetite na kujia around 100 to 200 million so that this corruption enterprise is a going concern. You can't, your salaries or your cost of doing business cannot match the gross sales. So we need senators mwende pole pole kwa governors na governors should steal enough so that it caters for the bribe that senators will come for.
Wow. A disclaimer, hiyo ni statement ya wakili Mokaya, hiyo si ya hapa, si ya yangu na si ya show. Yeye amesema corruption ikuwe profitable, mimi nasema hiyo. Kwa hivyo yeye na governors na senators mtapatana naye nje akitoka hapa, he'll just be by the roadside so you can meet him there. Na raia, hiyo that is not our stand. Anyway, I stand for killing the spider. So I've given a challenge to the senators and the governors. Give us your representatives next week. Tunatengeneza ring, we kill the spider once and for all so we can move on. Omodle Nyangla following candid discussion. Asante sana. Ambassador Loro Kilel Mariao Turkana tuned in Turkana. Asante sana. Kipchumba Tani watching from Columbus, Ohio. Asante sana diasporas. Thank you so much for always supporting us. Now, of course, the political season is here with us. The elections are just 1 year away. Officially, we're having elections next year, August, okay? And the political bidding as well as started. We've been seeing politicians moving around, some talking about what they have done, those who are in government, of course, and those who are out the government have been accused of seeking power without purpose, without telling us what exactly they want to do. And this has been a debate. So today, President William Ruto was in Garissa, and he had something to say, which he has said it before, about the opposition and those who are running for presidency. And then again, in an interview yesterday morning, this on Citizen at the break, one of the members of the opposition, who is an MP for Kipipiri, Wanjiku Muya, was asked the same question: what is your agenda? What do you stand for? Now, the president has been using very strong words against the opposition, that agenda, awana, akili, awana, mpango, awana. Let's listen in.
Wale wa ubaguzi si mnawajua, ajenda hawana, ajenda, mpango hawana, sera, maono, akili wale.
To them that it must be on the table on the 7th of March. Yep. There before, we've not heard them say so. But the issue of that opposition is agendaless. I want to tell the president and his team very candidly that the incoming government of 2027, because for sure the one-term movement is there, and it is in all corners of this country, is not an incoming government like his, where it's him who went telling Kenyans, we shall do A, we shall do B, we shall do C. The opposition currently is listening to the ground, and it is listening to the Kenyans, and it is Kenyans to say what the agenda should be. And we are collecting information, and the Kenyans are already saying, when the incoming government is formed, we do not want anything to do with housing. So we do not want housing levy. We do not want police brutality. We do not want a government that will be killing our children. So we are picking this from the people. The agenda is people driven. So the agenda should come from the people. In fact, it would be so wrong if the opposition come up today with the list of the agenda. That is their agenda, like it was President William Ruto agenda, the 47 economic chapters. So the public will continue saying what they do not want. Okay. They have already spoken loudly about SHA. They are unhappy with the SHA. They are unhappy with the empty promises day in, day out. They are unhappy with the infrastructure in this country, and all these are the key agendas that
I hear that.
Yes.
But how soon will Kenyans know what the united opposition wants to do for them?
We want to do what the Kenyans want to it be done, and Kenyans are already expressing why is William Ruto bothered?
Mheshimiwa here, how politics works in Kenya,
yes,
at some point you have to come and sit down and tell Kenyans,
yes,
so this We have listened. This is the agenda.
Yes.
When is that?
When time comes, that will
come
on the table. It will come. It will come. Why is the government so much in a hurry to know what is the agenda?
This is my question.
Yes.
Not the government.
But this is also from the government lamentation. Instead of the government implementing its agenda, it has now forgotten its agenda. Now it's asking opposition, what are you going to do?
Right.
So for me, I think the opposition is moving on well. At the moment, every opposition leader is watching over his zone so that we also continue with the one-term movement. And the one-term movement is now a Kenyan movement. In fact, as you have seen in Busia, it is also going to Mombasa. It is going to be in...
The president and Mheshimiwa Wanjiku Mbuya. Wanjiku amesema msitusumbue. Okay? Mtuache sisi, agenda yetu iko kwa wananchi. Na amesema watake isha, anasema watake housing program. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio kitu wakikuja kwanza unanyonga hiyo kwanza. So there'll be no SHA, there'll be no affordable housing. And they have said they are not in a hurry to give the agenda because they believe that the agenda is with the people. And okay, so what do you guys make of it, Dr.
That's one way of doing it. A little unorthodox, but it's another way. Because it appears that the agenda is simply to be put. Anything that Ruto says our agenda is not what he has said. So if he's doing SHA, our agenda is not to do SHA. and so it's an opposite day.
You're taking right?
It's an opposite day. Okay. If he's building houses, we don't want houses. And so that's a very convenient way of doing things by simply, and that is probably what that's probably the definition of opposition. Yeah. So our agenda is, if we say let's go right, we say no. Quite literally. Let's go left. That's what I listen to that. Opposite. And or maybe it's not the good. He didn't give a good exposition of what the plan is. But you know, to offer yourself. So if agenda is with the people, then you are offering yourself as a researcher. Because we do that for a living. We do perception,
the thesis and the antithesis.
Yes, and we go and collect data. So they are simply researcher. All the best. I can't argue with fellow researchers. They have said they are researching, isn't it? Because one way that people are used to is you put your bid or offer on the table. This is what I stand for. This is what I want to do for you. You market by features of what you want to do. Then people say, I like what A is trying to say he will do. Of course, they will have to interrogate it in terms of, does it look doable? Is it well thought through, or they're just shooting from the hip? But I've never seen it like this. Here is a case where they're simply saying, we don't worry about agenda. One, the agenda is going to be that there is no agenda. And the agenda is in the hearts of Kenyans. And we are going to mine it. Then we are going to do what the Kenyans say. It sounds like a spiritual journey, a renaissance. Because, you know, because it has to be spiritual for you to know what is in the heart of man. And for you to talk in spirit and know what they are thinking, so that you take it and so after that you give it back to them, or I think this is another good way. For sure they will save money. Rather than say, for sure, there's an upside. There's an upside. I can tell you for sure, this is a good shortcut. And in this one, because you don't even have to print manifesto. What is your agenda? Whatever is in your heart. Whatever you say, I'm your servant. Whatever you say. I think they're taking that too literally. But I think as they are saying that, I think after that comment they have sat and they're probably right now typing something to hold the space, because that explanation probably is not very well thought for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Prof went spiritual on this. I think we are in the Valentine season, and business of the heart ends in wreckages. Somehow, these hearts get broken. But when you speak of spirits and you speak of hearts, there is no much surer way to fail in the business of hearts if you have nothing to promise. Okay. You can't woo someone by telling them, you just come, we'll figure out what we are doing. Tutajua, because the sooner you start settling, the sooner you start getting that question, what are we? How did we get here?
Yeah, humans.
So, whether the opposition has an agenda or has not, it works for them and works against them. My problem will not be whether they have an agenda or not. My problem will be, what is the alternative? Okay. If the president is telling you that he's trying to get you to Singapore, where are you taking us? Because huyu amesema anatupeleka. When Moses said he's taking people to Canaan, Pharaoh had his option. I'll keep you enslaved. So even when it's not a good thing to say, at least when you have a promise to make, it makes you at least one side of the story. So this one is taking people to Singapore. You take us to Somalia or South Sudan. At least we'll have a choice. But if everything you are saying is kukanusha ile ambayo imesemwa, then I'll have a problem with that. Comparatively speaking, and even if you try to look at things we are forced to compare the current state of affairs, not with the promise that the opposition is giving, but to the past. We are looking at economically, where are we? We will want at least you to show us what the alternative looks like. But again, we'll be so hard on them if still you don't even have a vision bearer, because these visions come from somewhere. You can't have a church with a vision if the church does not have a pastor. Even the gift of speaking in tongues must be matched with the gift of interpreting tongues. Here we have a church where everybody is speaking in tongues. Of course, the best you expect from that church is chaos, and that is the chaos we are witnessing from this other side, where you believe everything you have to say is either you are insulting someone, either you are impeaching someone, either you are saying the opposite of what is going on, or you are finding questions in things that are going well. You see, it's like we are competing between the existing mechanic and the new mechanic. All the new mechanic has to say is that the existing mechanic is wrong for them to secure a job.
Someone do I disagree?
Huyu mtu hata ajui bwana kuunda carburetor, and then you have an electric vehicle.
All right. Duncan, so I'm going to YouTube. Sorry, I missed out the comments on YouTube actually. It was not loading on my tab. So I'm checking on my phone. I realize we have a number of comments and fans watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for the YouTube fans who are singing in. Asante sana. Good to see you this evening. Danson Kinywa says, good evening, Bitok and the panel. Asante sana, Danson Kinywa. Good evening to you. I disagree with Prof. Sifuna timing is perfect, but time will prove me right. We, however, know who Prof works for. I don't know. I will ask him. I works. But travel in the city, Taito 257, please also discuss the developments at the ODM party. Let the panelists ventilate. I think that's where we started our conversation this evening. But remember, you can call in live on 0714-604-531. You can call in live on 0714-604-531 and contribute to the conversation, okay? Unaweza piga simu ingie. Kibrotiko Romicha, good to see you. Tuanakuru asante sana. The call is back. We are tuned in. Thank you so much. Danny Onduko, good to see you. Why bring only the praise and worship of the government only? You have started from where you lived. Okay. I didn't check. But where utanishow? Come on, praise and worship. I didn't check. But I know there are people with brains who can ventilate on matters logically. But if you disagree, it's also okay to disagree. I mean, you also have the right to disagree. That's the same way guys are disagreeing on the chat. It's an open conversation. So let's all have this conversation without necessarily using lenses on people. Okay, Solomon Goren, glad you are back. Asante sana, Solomon Goren. Happy to be back to you and to come back to you guys. Asante sana. Parmasa Itaitas, Takol is back. Asante. So there was a petition last week from a lawyer called Soyinka Lempa. And Soyinka Lempa went to court to bar or to ask the court to prevail over President William Ruto from hosting meetings at State House. He called them political meetings. And of course, the court threw the petition out, saying it lacked merit. Wangwana, you guys are lawyers. Imetu ni mtu wa barabara huku. Ni broker. So how do you make of it, Daktari?
I thought it's the orders that they didn't receive. So the petition will still be heard on its merit. And I think I shared with you the petition.
Yes.
Because the argument is that president is a unifying factor. And therefore, when they host a party meeting, then it doesn't augur well for the rest. Then number two, that we are in political competition. And being in political competition, when a party is hosted in State House, a political party, they are using public resources that are not available for their competitors. So when they are in State House, maybe the food is catered, of course, as any guest, by taxpayers' money. The microphone, the energy, the electricity, and so they get to get a benefit, one that they don't declare as a party to say, we have received donation from State House, because it's a form of donation. But then number two, it puts them in a situation that they are better off than the rest. And so that was the petition. I still think that there is a higher level than even Wakili is asking. I like how in the US people can tour White House. Because it's the people's house. Just the way they now tour the parliament. It will be, to me, a good place where people can associate, so that we don't have this thing of, if we make it to State House through demonstration, then the president is out. Let us demystify that house. Let us make it truly a people's place. And how do we make it a people place? Let young people be able to come with their school uniform and with security, of course, handled, and tour the place. Let Kenyans be able. So this thing of waiting until your candidate wins is when you can eat pilau in State House is keeping Kenya in suicidal thoughts, because it might not happen for all of us. And there are people who are double dipping. And I like what the commentator said there. There are people who are having lunches there. It makes us jealous, because when will somebody from my backyard be there so that I can eat my pilau in peace there? So let us demystify the house. Okay. I think they have a point. And if I was in that house, I would have started by inviting the lawyer himself.
Bwana Soyinka Lempa.
Yes, probably is also...
Is jealous?
No, not jealous. It is his house. It's the president's place. Okay. So let him come and see, demystify, let him bring his family, also bring other people there. And then the petition does not become so serious.
So are you then saying that the reason why he's petitioning is because he's not been able to go and eat pilau? So if it's pilau, you are done. We are good.
No. Maybe that is oversimplifying his grievance. He's making very strong point that house belongs to Kenyans.
Okay.
If it belongs to
But
Kenyans,
the people being hosted there are also Kenyans. They're not Ugandans.
Yeah, When are you going to host WIPA delegates? That's what he's wondering. When are you going to host DCP delegates? Okay. And that is why he's saying that it is partisan. But I think what is lacking, you see, being a lawyer is overrated. In my very humble opinion. A lawyer is good when you have done a little bit more than just gone to law school. When you have other areas of study, then you can see, because the world is bigger than it exists in the mind of a lawyer. It does. In this case, because you'll know that the president is a party leader, is a head of state, is a head of government, is a diplomat, and all those functions do not conflict. So when you are when you are going to say that the president should not think of party affairs when he's in State House, are you saying that when he's to receive a call from Cecile, the party chair, he should leave State House, go to Java, and talk from there? Because he is one person with conflicting duties and with multiple, and they complement each other. So there is an element that is probably missing, that one, ideally, State House is a resident of the president, therefore a home for him and his family, and so as like anyone home and castle, they are housed there, and they have what they prefer and what they will want to do. But then number two, he is a party leader, and that's the Constitution exempted the executive from that role of they are allowed to have political officers. You see, other public officers are not allowed. Correct. But for the president, governor, I think the court clarified they are able. So if he is by law allowed to have a public political office, like he's the party leader, is he? Then he's probably able. But if you draw the line so sharp between the president and his role as a party leader, and his role as a father, and his role as the top diplomat, and his role as an elder, and his role as whatever, usually as a human being, we exist in all these offices. We are not either or. Otherwise, then, how is court going to supervise? So court is going to say, Mr. President, whenever you are to host Nini, go to Java, it might be more expensive to plan security out of State House because the president is the party leader. If you are to take president to every time he is to meet is to go to KICC, do you know that State House is secured and you might find it's cheaper at the end of the day than finding another venue?
Okay. Wakili,
yes.
Does your fellow Wakili
have
a point?
Dr. Ojwang is an advocate of the High Court. I'm an advocate of the Supreme Court.
Oh, okay.
And this is not romantic. This is a factual. When he was sworn in, he was sworn in when the highest court was the High Court. I was sworn in when the highest court was the Supreme Court. That's another debate. Anyway, the petition by Lempa is well founded in law. It's true that the president is a symbol of national unity. It's also true that the State House has its function as the house that is the symbol of it hosts power. It's where the presidency is rooted. Though the president has another office on Harambee Avenue. Is it Harambee Avenue or Lele Selassie? Harambee Avenue. Yes, but State House is where every president campaigns to go. So Harambee Avenue is, let's say, the second office. But the law does not exist in a vacuum. It is men that make the law, not the law that makes men. So then we need to agree that there are two flags that fly in State House. There's the flag of the party that sponsored the president to power. There's the flag of the nation. So while the president is a symbol of national unity, he belongs to a political party. And him being in State House is proof that he is a victor of a political battle. So then we don't expect a general to take off his badges of honor just because he captured power. Now, the question begs, there is the law that governs what is illegal, but there is no law that should govern what is immoral.
What should be done.
Neither is there a law that should govern our feelings. We can feel how we want. We can romanticize what we want. But until there is a law that expressly prohibits or even enables what our feelings dictate, we cannot anchor our feelings in a law that does not exist. This is what I'm saying. The courts are there not to make law, though there is judge-made law, but the law are there to breathe life into an existing law. What exactly is wrong in law, specifically speaking, in the president hosting whomsoever he pleases at State House? While I know that it feels bad that the insulters of the president are not welcome in State House, there is no problem in those who sing praises being welcome in State House. And this is why the courts do not step into political fields. They keep themselves in the role that they are there to interpret existing law. Invites to State House are political. They are not legal. The holder of State House is a political being, though governed within the precincts of the law. So what I think Lempa should do is maybe lobby Parliament to create a law that gives life to wherever he anchors his feelings. That the law should be passed to stop the president from romanticizing State House, from using State House to hold his party meetings, which could be creating discomfort in some quarters of this country. It could even border immorality, but it's not strictly illegal. And we should understand what the law says. The law has two factions. It allows a citizen to do everything except what specifically is prohibited by law. It also empowers, it also limits government holders of power to do nothing except what is expressly provided by law. So then the question begs, is the president mandated to stay in State House? Yes. Is the president barred from welcoming whoever he believes is welcome in State House? Yes. No.
No.
Is the president in contravention on any law by inviting whomsoever he wants to host in State House? That one is not pronounced in law. Then the question then further is, if you think and if you believe that there is financial impropriety or even resource misuse by how State House hosts whoever it wants to host, then you have the right to move to EACC. You have the right to petition Parliament to question or even cast blame on the budgetary allocation of the president, without which we can feel as bad as we want. We can even castigate as much as we want. But there is no day a court will make a decision on political issues. That's why even an impeachment process, however much unfair we think it is, political processes are governed by politics. Legal processes are governed by the law.
Constitution.
And if you want to invite whoever you want to invite to State House, there's only one small requirement. Every 5 years you have a chance to hit 50 plus 1. Then entertain whoever you want to entertain in State House.
Okay. All right. In other news, heading to the tail end, the other news, the Fitch Ratings London has rated Kenya as B-, heading it stable. And with all the stories going around that Kenya is in a shithole, we are not moving, we are doing badly, the economy is bad, all these stories. What does it mean for you, Ojwang? Do you?
Yeah, I saw the rating, and of course, you know, we take it serious because these are some of the people who rate us and look at our credit worthiness.
Right.
And so they're saying we are out of the hoods. We are not obviously going to default, and we are doing much better.
Okay.
That becomes important because remember the issue that have occupied Kenyans' mind and debate has been around, are we borrowing recklessly? Are we able to pay? And so according to this raters, they feel we are okay. And we are not sinking, because there are countries that have reached a point that they are not able to pay. If you look at with that rating and together with what I saw from the statistics, that Kenya have a 6% growth.
Yes.
Now that is very important, because if we can maintain that 6% growth, before 2022 we were at about 4%. 6% growth, if we can maintain it for some time, it means our economy is expanding. And that means exactly the impact of more jobs for people, more business, more money for people, and more opportunity to do better as Kenya. And so I saw that report of 6% increase. I saw a lot of statistics. You saw what Deputy President Kindiki was being applauded, that he gave a scorecard.
Yes.
And pointed at some of very bold things that they rate themselves, that they have stayed within 96% of their plan. That whatever they have done, they have not been shooting from a hip. Whether it is the SHA and the numbers that you saw, the number of household enrolled, the number of the indigent or the poor people that the government is supporting, the number of the facilities that have been enlisted is 4 or 5 times before. Then the issue of housing and how many young people have received jobs there. And that it has happened in 45 counties, except only 2. I don't know which 2. It better not be Homa Bay, because I'll be pissed. I'm from Homa Bay. And how all the units are there. It has opened the economy and the SMEs because of the locally produced things. The issue of water and irrigation. I remember Professor Kindiki talking of they are planning to build a lot of boreholes, serious borehole, dams, and then the irrigation and electricity, access to electricity, big time. Already, you know that for people like us in Nyanza, the Ojwang now is able to serve us. Okay. And in the plan, they are actually putting concrete, because before this idea of Singapore, to be honest, was hanging. Even though you will meet some people in the street talking of tunaenda Singapore, but it was hanging. But they have given it legs to walk now, because they are saying electricity, housing, new airport, the port, roads, infrastructure, the Rironi. There was a debate whether it has started. I saw none other than Wakili, former LSK president, posting that he found it. Yeah. It has started. And so they have actually taken concrete steps towards reaching maybe Singapore or the idea of first world country. Because if we can have food security and we can have more income, and we can have better help, and we can also have what we call SMEs accessing credit. And that's what they were claiming Nyota is trying to do, access to credit and giving skills. You know, I saw that part that youth don't like to talk about, that they will be mentored on how to do business. And doing business really is not about the big capital. It's about there is some discipline. Where you know, what was it? Kula tano, weka tano. I don't know where that exists, but I'm yet to reach that point of saving almost half of whatever I get. Yeah, almost, not all of it though.
Okay, Mokaya. Does this rating reflect in your life? Because wananchi wanasema okay, sawa tumeona rating, lakini up to field. I mean, and then also there is the whole stories of bad news on what is going wrong in the country. These ratings, we've had this rating where I think around 2 weeks ago there was another rating. Which rating was that? Anyway, so what do you make of this?
The rating is not a superb rating. Okay. And I understand when we don't get to translate the rating very well, because ratings come in English. Our national language is Swahili. So there is a lot of information that we lose in translation. Okay. So I like to translate this for us in as much as I understood it. The rating does not mean that we are off the red. What the rating means is borrowers and investors are allowed to be careful with us. Okay. We are not the best economy in the world. But at least there is confidence in that if you give us money, we'll bring it back. That exposes us to higher interest rates or even more risk in terms of who we are financially. But it doesn't mean we are blocked from financial markets. What that means is that our shilling means something. It means that our foreign exchange is stable. It means there are things we have done that we are not as worse as we found ourselves. Okay. An analogy I want to put so that this is palatable for all of us. It is sweet to our tongue to say bad things about ourselves. And I think this is a colonial syndrome that we were taught everything that is local is primitive, everything that is foreign is good. Even insults to ourselves, as long as it comes from a foreigner, it sounds good to our ears. President Kibaki built the engine, or at least bought it. Okay. And that was where he left. Then Uhuru, in his flamboyant, rather not measured style, he built the bodyworks. Okay. He panel beat this country into something that looks like a car. But he did it expensively with borrowed money. So now, Ruto got a stalled engine with a beautiful bodywork, with a huge car loan that was poorly negotiated. So then he has this job of making sure this Gazla V8 5700cc is fueled at least. Isonge kidogo. Not full tank, but at least it can go with ile ya kusema please refuel. Then his other role, which is thankless, is that he keeps the car loan serviced. It's a thankless role because it's not as flamboyant as the other ones. He might not build as much as the previous presidents did. But at least his role is making sure this car moves sustainably with fuel in it, and that it doesn't break whatever was built. What does that mean? That means that the debt hole we dug ourselves is serviced properly. That he doesn't dig the hole further. And that's what this rating means. That we are sustainably breathing, even if we are close to drowning, our head is on top of the water. So that all we need is not dig ourselves further. And what are we doing towards that? We are shifting the gears. We are from subsidizing supermarkets to subsidizing soils. That means we are subsidizing production. It's not as flowery as building the body and painting the car. But at least we can't go lower than that. We are sinking, yes, but we are not sinking our bodies. We are sinking boreholes, which means the water we are swimming in will not drown us. This water is feeding us. The developments we are doing, at least they are sustainable in the way that we are not borrowing to develop. We are having a model that includes getting other people to be in this risk with us. That is called PPP. But the white man said that the best place to hide information from a black man is in writing. So have we read what the PPP law says? When we are dancing to tunes that hii inchi inauzwa, are we seeing what the alternative is? When we see PPP, are we looking at how much fancy development that did to this economy in loans and unsustainable interest, what some presidential candidate is calling ODS loans, and what this new frame of doing things means? I want to break it down. What a PPP means is you get to enjoy the development, albeit with some cost on you, but at least no loan on your behalf, on your account. So the long and short of this is this. We didn't receive an A. We received a B. What that means is we might not qualify for a scholarship, but at least we have been admitted to university, albeit at our own cost.
Okay. All right. And finally, Daktari, you sit in a panel for compensation of picketing and demonstration victims. Okay, I think political demonstrations, and it is one of the 10 agendas on a NATCO report supposed to be implemented. And the noise that we've been hearing also around is that what happened in a NATCO report, especially for victims of demonstrations who are still waiting to be compensated. There is a matter in court that has suspended activities of the Macau Mutua panel, which I think you are part of. What is happening?
That panel should actually be called the victims panel because people came. It was sad. When something happened, like somebody dies in demonstration or in picketing, the effect is much bigger. It affects even the entire neighborhood, and the trauma is beyond just the immediate victim. So you find the spouse, the siblings, the classmates, the tenant, the landlord, and that's what happened with every disaster. I think that the idea of compensating, if you look at most of the victims of picketing, sometimes there have been people who come from informal settlements. And before they have been used by politicians, and they are the most vulnerable. So that the compensation, of course, was not any attempt to say this is the value of the life or the limb. Okay. Nobody can do that. But it is a way of reparation, of saying sorry is not enough. Just saying sorry verbally is not enough, and a way of repairing them so that as much as possible they can move towards the future and towards the healing that they need. You know that part of what we had started under Macau Mutua was we had volunteer counselors that were probably, and that to me was one of the biggest services that were to counsel those who have undergone the trauma of loss during picketing. That there is a time that we mismanaged our politics, and there are people who are innocent. We still know that there are people who are not even in the scene, but stray bullets kill them. And now somebody have a dead child, Mora in Madare and all that. And so it was important to say this is the best we can do, put some money in their hand, give them counseling and dignity, and document their story. But even important, to reach a point of saying never again. Okay. Never again should we die or Kenyans die because of picketing. That panel is to even review on the conduct or the misconduct that led to some of this, and to suggest how can we picket in a way that is sustainable, so that when people picket, the city is not closed down. Okay. That because people picket everywhere, and it does not have to be a riot. It does not have to close down business, okay. And we don't have to lose life and lose property or harm the police. Okay. There is a representative of IPOA who presented horror stories of a lot of police that were also hurt. And therefore that, I think, is very important. I believe that it is in the 10-point agenda. Right. And today, you can see that ODM in their statement have said the compensation of a victim starting from a previous picketing are priority. And I think with that political goodwill, they will find a way. Please let us find a way to compensate them. And finally, I think this comes with a long-term solution of the fund that has been established, the National Infrastructural Fund, to build 6,000 kilometers of roads. Again, you'll tell me how many are in my backyard in Homa Bay. To build 50 mega dams. Again, you'll tell me how much we are receiving down there, because it's about equality, and the 10 point is about equity, equality, and fairness, and some of the many things. So it went through Kerugoya Court. The honorable judge said it is not a bad idea, but it should be structured well. Let Kenya National Human Rights Commission be the lead. There is appeal on that, and even so, there is the advisory coming. I believe that before the election or the end of the term, this term, the executive should be able to put in the hands of those victims some compensation to say, you know what, as a country, we are saying we are sorry, we have seen your loss, and this should not happen again.
Okay. All right. I'll give you another question, Wakili Mokaya. Yes. And it's about, there is an alarm after there has been reports that there are Kenyans in Russia who are fighting in the front line or in Ukraine. And it has been reported that we've lost some Kenyans to the war in Ukraine, which of course is not our business, not our monkey. But these people apparently were taken there with, they were told that they were going to do other jobs. Pretend that the other jobs they could do. But they get there, they end up in the front line. And I think Musalia Mudavadi made a statement on that, and is scheduled to travel to Russia to go and try and address this diplomatic issue. So what do you make of it? You've seen pictures of Kenyans fighting in the front line. Very, like normal civilians. You are a soldier in the army of the Lord.
And the Lord here is put in Vladimir. So I think our labor export has been disorganized for a very long time. It's good that this time there is some semblance of hope that these reactions are coming in time. But we need to fault ourselves in the way we have thought about life. Kenyans think by taking a plane, you have succeeded. Okay. People are leaving this country for things they can access here. I understand the desperation we can have for the jobs we want. But there is an indictment in our own government and also our own government and government apparatus. You can't have proliferation of these fake agents without government knowing. Then we need to tighten our belts in a way that we regulate who leaves this country and for what reason and which destination. I understand the digital space has contributed into this, that recruiters are even contacting people through the social media and other channels that are unregulated. But as a country, we need to be very careful that not everybody who's asking you to board a plane wishes well for you. Okay. We need to dig deeper and know there is importance of regulation. Ask the agent who's putting you in a plane whether he's regulated locally, whether in case the dream you are sold does not materialize, what happens to you? Not that the person you know is the only person you know and is your only hope. We have had horror stories more than that you say that our people are going with no training to fight battles that have nothing to do with us. We have had our daughters being used as mules for drug trafficking. And then they end up, drug trafficking is a possession crime, that it doesn't matter whether you are in knowledge. If you have drugs on you, they're your drugs. We have had our people being taken to syndicates that look like organ harvesting. We have had people come back in coffins and nobody has an explanation. So these are call for personal responsibility. While we recognize that there has been lacklusterness in how we handle our export of labor and there's something being done about it, we need also personal disciplines. When you are trading your life in the desperation to leave this country, you want to understand that that plane you are taking, you need to be sure that there's a plane that will bring you back, and at least while you breathe.
Okay. 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Who do we blame, Dr. Hari?
There's enough blame to go around. I think Wakili has put it well.
Okay.
The state still has a duty to protect its citizens and to be proactive in protecting its citizens. But then there is the, I come from an area where we say you condemn the chicken and you condemn the mwewe, both of them. You tell mwewe, you should not have, you had no right to take my chicks, and you also tell the mother hen, you had no right to wander this far. Yeah, because the irony is Kenyans fill stadiums fighting for the job of police and KDF. Yes. And so I look at that irony because I don't know, Wakili Mokaya, that if you told a young man who wants livelihood that you are going to Russia and you are going to be a soldier, that they will stop, or that will stop them for most of them.
They'll still go.
I really wanted to be a soldier myself. I even tried to. It's only that I didn't have the immigration status. I tried the U.S. Army severally. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe my appetite for risk is too high. I blame myself. But I don't think I don't think it is unthinkable. Okay. If you told somebody that you are going to be a soldier, of course, whether it's the training on the job or are they mercenary? There's a difference between a soldier and a mercenary. Mercenary are people who are hired privately, and they're not soldier. Or if they are part of soldier, then to what extent are they? Were they willing? Because you can also go and be recruited well, but you change course. Most of the young people, when they get to US, very few have an idea of what you are going to do. But once you get there, you find, do I work on the farm? Do I work as a nursing aide? Do I do this? And so, but if you become a soldier, then one pledge of a soldier is to include laying your life. I mean, soldiers die in conflict. I think that's no-brainer, is it? And I'm not being insensitive, but the fact that you are a soldier in a battlefield, and not figuratively that you are in the battlefield with the devil and spiritually and on your knee, literally, then it means that you can lose your life. So sometime also it becomes very hard for the government because somebody have gone to the theater of war. Yes. And once you're in the theater of war, the Geneva Convention takes over. You should not be shot, and if you have surrendered, but if you're in the theater of the war, then the target is the soldiers, is it? Yes. That is no-brainer. So to what extent is it our own carelessness? To what extent are these people lured? To what extent are they willing? Because I don't think every time somebody go there and find themselves recruited, that the government will be there to say, if you get a job, the government is there to say, no, you cannot. Because it's not, is it illegal? No. It's not illegal. Because countries during war can extend to say we are going to recruit even non-citizens. So the issue of it's not your war, it's not brainer. We died in the Second World War, which was not our war. We died in the First World War, which is not our war. We died in Somalia, which is not our war. KDF are still in Somalia, are they not? Yeah. So it is a mixed bag. But I think what I can say is, I sent you the book, the Alchemist, the book that I love a lot. Because it's about a young man who dreamt that he really wanted a lot of riches. Yes. And the treasure he thought in the dream from his country, which is Australia, are in the pyramid of Egypt. So he traveled for over 1 year, got to the pyramid, and found that there is no treasure there. Right. Instead, the treasure is in the sycamore tree back at home. Yeah. And that is where his fate and his connection are. Mokaya have said, let us not be cheap. Let us accept that Kenya is not bad. And that is why sometime, for some of us who lived in abroad for 14 years, and came back knowingly without even a job or any promise or no political connection or no name to guarantee our safety. We came back, why? Because East, West, home is best. I was tired of being in the US and every time you open your mouth, you are told, by the way, where are you from? Then it reminds you are a foreigner. And then the next question that always I didn't like was, when are you going back home?
Wow. Okay. When are you going back home? It's a heavy one. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure having you. And all the followers who have joined us on the tackle as well. It's always beautiful having you. Thank you so much for always being loyal. Dalati Chumba watching Asante Saram. Talke Davis, thank you so much for joining. I'm happy to have you, being even the only person watching. As long as we're speaking to you, it's still a good win. Angela Shazi, Senator Chepchiri GNC for Nairobi, asante sana. And it's always a pleasure to have you guys. Guys on YouTube, thank you so much for the live. I see we have quite a number on YouTube. Oopsie says, hello, Tackle, welcome back. I think there's some comments as well I missed right there. But thank you so much for joining us. This is our second episode of 2026. And we'll be doing another shoot again next week. Same time, same place, same day on Wednesday. Until then, it's always a pleasure having you on to wish you a very good evening and the remaining part of the week. We love you. This is The Tackle and it ends right now. Bye-bye.